Hello and welcome back to our third grade math review part 4. In this video, we will be going over some rounding numbers to the nearest tens, hundreds, and thousands. Don't forget to click the link below for a free 60 question worksheet that you can use with your student or your child to review those important math skills that they should have learned in third grade. All right, let's get this party started. We're going to be rounding numbers. Let's get started. So our job is to select all the numbers that round to 380 when rounding to the nearest 10. Very important to pay attention to what we're rounding to, the nearest 10. So let's take a look at A. 382, rounded to the nearest 10. We are going to focus on the digit that's in the tens place, since we're rounding to the nearest 10. It's very important also that we look at the digit next door, because that digit next door is going to determine if the digit that's on the line will either increase by 1 or remain the same. If the digit next door is 5 or more, keep this in mind, 5 or more, if the digit next door is 5 or more, then the digit on the line will increase by 1. So the 3 will remain the same. The 8 in this case will also remain the same because this digit, the 2, is not 5 or more. The 8 will remain the same, and then everything after the underlying digit will become a 0. All right. So when asked, does 382 round to 380 when rounding to the nearest tens? Absolutely, it does. So A is an option. Let's look at 378. 378. Remember, since we're rounding to the nearest 10, we have to focus on the digit in the tens place. So we underline the digit in the tens place. Good. Now, we look next door. Is it 5 or more? If it's 5 or more, then the digit in the tens place goes up by 1. Is it 5 or more? Yes, it is. It's an 8. So the digit in the tens place will go up by 1. The 3 will remain the same. The 7 goes up by 1, which now becomes 8. Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. It does B work out to round to the nearest, when rounded to the nearest 10, it is a 380, so B is an option as well. Let's take a look at 361. So this is A over here, this is B over here. Now I'm going over here for C, 361. Again, focus on the digit in the what place? Good, the tens place. That's what we're rounding to right now. So the digit in the tens place is 6. Now, that digit will either go up by 1 or remain the same. It all depends on the digit next door. If it's 5 or more, then the digit in the underlined digit goes up by 1. So, nope, it's not 5 or more. It's actually just 1. So, the 3 remains the same. The 6 remains the same. Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. There we go. 360, not 380. So, C does not work out. We did say B works out, right? How about D? 391. I'm doing it over here. 391. Focus on the digit in that's right, the tens place. Okay, so we underline the digit in the tens place. It will either go up by 1 or remain the same. I look at the digit next door to help me make that determination. So the 1 tells me that the digit that's underlined will remain the same because it's not 5 or more. So we're looking at the 3 remaining the same, the 9 remaining the same. Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0, the hero. All right, so 390 is not the same as 380, so 390 does not work out for me. How about E, 382? Running out of space, but I can do it. 382. No, 384 rather. 384. Again, we're focusing on the digit in the tens place. Underline that digit for me, please. Then look next door. If it's 5 or more, I should say. If it's 5 or more, it causes this digit to go up. So it's not 5 or more, it's only 4. So therefore, the 3 remains the same, the 8 remains the same, but the digit that's everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. There we go. So yes, 384 does round to 380. So that is also an option. Last one. Let's work on F, which is 389. Focus. Let me separate this, okay? So you're not too confused, right? Let's focus on the digit in the tens place. It is an 8. Well, it will either go up or remain the same. It all depends on the digit next door. The digit next door is 9. It is 5 or more. So the 8 will go up by 1. The 3 will remain the same. The 8 becomes a 9, increasing by 1. And everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0, the hero. All right, so 390 is 389 rounded to the nearest 10, not 380. So That does not work out either. So I see my answers. It's A, B and E. I hope you got the same thing if you were working it out with me. All right, let's work out the next one together. Remember, you can pause this video at any time if you feel like I'm going too fast or too slow, right? Or you can fast forward. It is your choice. Let's work on this one together. What is 896 rounded to the nearest 100? I like how they made it bold so that it really catches my attention. So make sure you're focusing on the hundreds place value. So 896. Underline the digit in the hundreds place. You got it. Then what do? Look next door. If it's 5 or more, it causes the underlined digit to go up by 1. It is 5 or more. 9 is greater than 5. So the 8 becomes a 9, and everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. You got it. Very good. Let's try the next one. What about 307 rounded to the nearest 10? Nearest 10. So what we're going to have to do is write out the 307. Focus on the digit in the what place? Tens place. That's right. Focus on the digit in the tens place. Underline that digit. Now you look next door to figure out, does that digit go up by 1 or does it remain the same? I love this game. So it's a 7. That 7 means that the 0 will go up by 1. So the 3 remains the same. The 0 becomes a 1, and everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. 310 is my answer for 307, rounded to the nearest 10. You're doing a great job keeping up with me. Let's keep going. We're going to fill in the circles to match the number in each row to the value of the number rounded to the nearest 10. Okay, here's what I see. I see 425 here. If I rounded 425 to the nearest 10, would I get 400? Well, let's look at the digit next door. It's a 5 or more. So the 2 will go up by 1. I should get 430 if I round 425 to the nearest 10. Where is 4? Oh, there it is. 430. Gotta bubble it in. That's what matches this answer when rounded to the nearest 10. Nice job, guys. Nice job. Okay, what about 404 rounded to the nearest 10? Well, I underline the digit in the tens place. I look next door. I'm following the rules of the game. Underline the digit in the tens place, right? Look next door, and that's a 4. It's not a 5 or more, so the 4 remains the same. The 0 remains the same. Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. That's right. So 404 rounded to the nearest 10 is actually 400. So where is, oh, there it is, 400 right there. This is what I bubble in. Are you doing good so far? Are you keeping up with me? Are you making sure that you're understanding? All right, great job. Okay, let's try this one. 418 rounded to the nearest 10. Underline the digit in the tens place, and then look next door. Is it 5 or more? Yes, it is. It's an 8. 8's a big number, so the 1 will go up by 1. It will increase, get bigger by 1. So the 4 remains the same. The 1 becomes a 2, and everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. Very good. 420. So 418 rounded to the nearest 10 is 420. Find it, find it, find it. Oh. Did you find it before me? I found it before you did. All right, bubble it in, bubble it in. Let's keep going. 413 rounded to the nearest 10. Let's do this really fast. Let's see how fast we can do it. We underline the digits in the tens place. Then we look next door. It's a 3. Oh, it's not a 5 or more. It's only a 3. So the 1 will remain the same. So we're looking at 4. Well, the 4 will remain the same. The 1 will remain the same. But everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. 410. Where's 410? There it is. Bubble it in, bubble it in. Whew, we did it. Good job, guys. I wish I could give you a high five. Let's do a virtual high five. Yeah! Give yourself a pat on the back. All right, let's move to the next question. What we're going to do is round 649, this time to the nearest 100. Can we do it? Can we do it? Yes, we can. 649. I want to use another color because green is fun, but let's change it up. Let's underline the digit in the hundreds place, right? 100 place. So this is ones, tens, of course, and this is hundreds. Now, if we're underlining the digit in the hundreds place, we're underlining the 6. Okay, now that digit will either go up by 1 or do what? Good, remain the same. It all depends on the digit next door. If it's 5 or more, then the digit in that's underlined will go up by 1. Well, it's not 5 or more, it's only 4, so the 6 will remain the same. Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. 600 is my answer. I hope you're finding this very helpful, very valuable, and you're getting it. Let's keep going. Let's keep grooving through it. So 316 to the nearest 10. We underline the digit in the tens place, right? Yes. Then we look next door. It's a 6. is bigger than the 5. It's 5 or more. So the digit in the that's underlined, why did it undo? Okay, the digit that's underlined is going to go up by 1. So the 3 remains the same. The 2 goes up, the 1 becomes a 2, and everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. So 320 is my answer for rounding to the nearest 10. Okay, we're going to take that same number. This time, we're rounding it to the nearest 100. Let's do it. So we underline the digit in the hundreds place this time. Then we look next door. If it's 5 or more, the digit in the hundreds place, or the digit that's underlined, will go up by 1, but it's not 5 or more, so the digit that's underlined will remain the same. So the 3 remains the same. Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. You're getting it. You're doing it. Let's keep going. So it's 320 for the first answer, and then 300 for the second answer. How about Mrs. Thomas's classroom library has 647 books. Ooh, you got a lot of books, Miss Thomas. Thank you. All right, so fill out the chart to round the number to the nearest 10 and 100. Okay, so we're rounding 647 to the nearest 10s first, and then to the nearest hundreds. Can we do it? Of course we can. We've been doing it. So let's put it out here first. 647. Let's underline the digit in the tens place. Then we look next door. The 7 is a big number. It's 5 or more. So, it's going to cause a change. It's going to cause a change. It's going to cause a change to the digit in the tens place. The digit in the tens place becomes a 5. But remember, the 6 will remain the same. Okay? Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. 650 is my answer for rounding to the nearest 10. Rounding 647 to the nearest 10. What if we rounded 647 to the nearest hundreds? We would underline the digit in the hundreds place, right? And then we would look next door. That digit is a 4. It's not 5 or more. So the 6 will remain the same, and everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. So 647 rounded to the nearest 100 is 600. Yay, we're doing this. We're doing such a great job. Okay, round each number to the nearest 10. Only that, just the nearest 10, that's it? I can do more, okay? If you just want the nearest 10, we can do it. Let's underline the digit in the tens place. When we're rounding to the nearest 10, we underline the digit to the tens place, right? Because that's the digit we're focusing on. Then we look next door. If it's 5 or more, the digit that's in the digit that is underlined will increase by 1, or it will remain the same if it's not 5 or more, right? So it's a 1. It's only a 1, so the digit in the tens place will remain the same. The 3 remains the same. The 5 remains the same. Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. So 350 is my answer for that one. How about 539 rounded to the nearest 10? Okay, we underline the digit in the tens place. That's simple. Then we look next door. If it's 5 or more, then the digit that's underlined will increase by 1. Really simple, right? Oh yeah, it is 5 or more. It's actually a big number. It's really the biggest number that we can get. It's 9. So 5 will remain the same in the hundreds place. The 3 goes up by 1. It increases by 1, which now becomes a 4. Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. I hope you're... Oops, did I write a 3? Did I make a mistake? No. Erase that. Good thing we have electronic erasers here. So 540 is my answer. Woohoo! Alright, what about 446 rounded to the nearest 10? Underline the digit in the tens place. Look next door. If it's 5 or more, the digit that is underlined increases by 1. So 4 will remain the same here, but the 4 here will increase by 1 only because the 6 is a 5 or more. So the 4 becomes a 5. Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. If you did not hear me say that before, remember, everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0 when we're rounding. All right, if you've never seen this method before and it's working out for you, hey, go ahead and use it. I won't charge you this time. All right, let's do 576. Rounded to the nearest 100. Nearest 100. If we're rounded to the nearest 100, of course, we're focusing on the digit in the hundreds place. It will either increase by 1 or remain the same, but it all depends on the digit in the digit next door. So if it's 5 or more, if the digit next door is 5 or more, then the digit in the hundreds place will go up by 1. Is it 5 or more? Is it 5 or more? Yes, it is. So the 5 becomes a 6, but wait! Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. Good job. So 576 rounded to the nearest 100 is 600. All right, let's do some more here. What do we have here? We've got the same thing that we've done before, where but now we're rounded to the nearest 10. So we're rounding all of these numbers to the nearest 10. I'm trying to see which one of these 10s is correct. So focus on the digit in the tens place. It's a 0. Then we go next door. If the digit next door is 5 or more, then the digit that's on the line will increase by 1. But the 1 is a small number. It's less than 5. So the 5 in the hundreds place will remain the same. The 0 will remain the same, and everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. So bubble in A, because that's what matches. How about 560 rounded to the nearest 10? I underline the digit in the tens place. Then I look next door. It's a 6. That 6 is a large number, which means that the digit 1 that's in the tens place will now increase by 1. So the 5 will remain the same. The 1 goes up or increases by 1, becomes a 2, right? And everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. Looking for 520, 520. Oh, there you are. So I bubble it in to match my answer over there. Okay, how about 511 rounded to the nearest 10? Huh? Can we do that? Let's do it. Underline the digit in the tens place. Then we look next door. The 1 is a small number, so the 1 here will remain the same. 500. Remember, everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. So that's 500. Bubble it in. Woohoo! We're making good progress here. Let's try the last one in this question. So 526. Focus on the digit in the tens place. Look next door. Is it 5 or more? Indeed it is. It is a 6. So the 2 will increase by 1. So the 5 in the hundreds place will remain the same. The 2 increases, now it becomes a 3. And everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. So that's 530 we're looking at. Bubble that in. Don't mind my bubbles outside, my bubbling in outside the bubbles, okay? I'm not the best bubbler. Okay, so yeah, that's that. I hope that made sense. All right. Remember, if you want to review by rewinding or slowing down the video if you like. Okay, next question. We're going to round each number to the nearest 100 this time. Oh yeah, the nearest 100. So, underline the digit in the hundreds place. Look next door. The digit in the hundreds, the digit next door actually is a small number. It's less than 5. So it causes this number to remain the same. 7. Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. So we're looking at 700. How about 590 rounded to the nearest 100? Well, underline the digit in the hundreds place and then look next door. The digit in the digit next door is a large number. It's actually a 9, which is more than 5. So the 5 will increase by 1. It goes up to a 6. And then everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. So that's 600. Alright, last one. Underline the digit in the hundreds place. Then look next door. If it's 5 or more, the digit that's underlined will increase by 1. But it's not 5 or more, so the digit that's underlined will remain the same. It's 6. And everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. 600 as well. There you have those answers. Alright, select all of the numbers that round to 710. How many numbers possibly could round to 710? I don't know. Well, let's find out. We were not going to make guesses at this stuff. We're going to take our time and go through every question to the best of our ability. Here we go. So, 600, let me make spaces here. 699. We're going to underline the, remember, we're rounding to the nearest 10 just in case we didn't highlight that. So we underline the digit in the tens place. Look next door. It's a 9. It's greater than 5. So it's going to cause this to go up by 1. Now, how could 9 possibly increase by 1 when it becomes a 10? Actually, it does. It becomes a 10. That forces this number to become a 7. Does that make sense? So this becomes a 700. It becomes 70. 69 plus 1 becomes 70. Right? So does it round to 710? No, not at all. Let's go over here with B. Let's do B down here. 714 rounded to the nearest 10. Underline the digit in the tens place. Look next door. It's a 4. It's less than 5. So the 1 will remain the same. Of course, the 7 in the hundreds place remain the same. The 1 remain the same. Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. Does it round to 710? Yes, it does. Circle B. Let's move on to C. Hoping I have space down here. 702. Underline the digit in the tens place. Then you look next door. The 2 is a small number, so it's going to cause the 0 to remain the same. So the 7 remain the same, the 0 remain the same. Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. 702 rounds to 700. It doesn't round to 710. Now I have space over here for D. D is 750. So underline the digit in the tens place. Look next door. It doesn't round to anything. 750 is already a 10. So if you're 750, there's no way you're close to 710. You're your own tens. 750. Okay, we're not even going to think about 750. Let's move on to E. 711. 711, underline the digit in the tens place. Look next door. If it's 5 or more, then the digit that's on the line will increase by 1. But it's not 5 or more. It's only 1. So 7 remains the same. 1 remains the same. Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. 711 rounded to the nearest 10 is 710. Yes, you are an option. There you go. How about 707? Last one for F, right? 707 rounded to the nearest 10. What is it? We look at the digit in the tens place. Look next door. It's a 7. 7 is a large number, much bigger than 5, so it's going to cause the 0 to increase by 1. 7 remains the same. 0 becomes a 1. Everything after the underlined digit becomes a 0. 710 works out for F as well. Woo-hoo! My friends, we have done it. We have rounded and rounded and rounded some more. And if you have not understand how to do rounding, then rewind the video and watch it again. That was an intense lesson. I hope you got it. I will see you on the next video. Please join me for the next video. We're going to be adding and subtracting, finding the sum, finding the difference, and I'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.